Oh my god. What's that about? I'm actually sat in the chair. Ah, do you know what it was? Hang on, I've unplugged my camera. Let's see if it starts working. Yeah, activate. Hey! Yeah. I was like, that's weird. I was sat there. Lock it down. Right. Let me just reduce trading view. There we go. So, we got PPI anyway, right? Let me just put this on chart. Some more levels. So we've just taken out our 90% probability below. These were all our high probability that we left. Now that they've not been taken, obviously on day 2 you can see it's not super probable, but with PPI and CPI you just don't know, right? We could literally fly through all of that in one go. What we are leaving is some levels above. Got a sell signal. We're below the 0 line. Big bullish run, and we've just maintained right this area. So we're currently at the low. From last night. Ooh. Gonna see if we can find. So we've got sorry, this is CL. My apologies. NQ has got some slightly bigger. This is an interesting setup, right? It's a big bit of space. Oh, nice. Yes, Piggles. 2R. Make sure you lock it down. 2R, done. That's how you want to start, isn't it, right? Just being done for the day. It's just me and you, mate. What were your trades on? We trade, is it gold? Trade gold? NAS and GU. Okay. Getting a bit bearish across the board, aren't we, at the moment? We've seen quite a few just take out this low from Wednesday night. So we've seen it on gold, oil, NQ. I don't think we've got anything of high enough probability in the algo. We've got 66%, 62%. 63. Okay, well, ES is on sequence 1. And I think it's bearish. Tell you what I'll do it on this one. Right. No trades for me so far today. I've been at school play, so I haven't had any time to do anything. I did manage to trade before I finished for the day yesterday when I was ill. Nothing crazy. So yeah, oh god. Oh, hang on a second. I need to log in my accounts. Just wondering what's going on there. Good morning. So
order submitted.
taking out the low from the previous hour. We've already taken the highs beforehand, right? So this I really like because we have highs taken, lows taken. Which I do like. I did the same there as well. The only thing is, obviously we've got PPI coming. Generally we can just range for a bit, but we can just look for our 1-to-1, right? Not sure whether we're gonna make it that far. Coming up into the EMAs. You're a little bit more confident. You could have gone for something like this. We have got a couple of open vibs here and here. Nothing on the 5-minute. One tick away. Okay, fibs above. We've got, like I said, we've got this and this that haven't been re-tapped. Next liquidity is a bit further down, and we've got these above. So Algo is still bearish though, right? So we're coming back up and we're holding the sequence 1. One tick away from getting tagged in. Positive, negatives. So we're below the open price now, which is cracking. Trend AI is red. We're below the 0 line. We've come back up and failed to stay above, and then corrected bearish. We've still got, make sure it's on an hour. Yeah, we've still got 79% of our low data to come. So high probability for our lows. We've taken the high liquidity already from above, failed to close above, and now we're coming back down. if we come down now and take that low, that's kind of the move that I was looking for. We just missed out by a tick. And that's okay. Hey, Mark. It's that time of year. Kids plays. Loads going on. Plus, I've got stupid man flu. I've had it for ages. We've just stopped. What's going on? Is it my internet? Am I still here? No? Back and running? What's going on? Well, the world had froze then. Just open the studio, see what the quality of the stream's like. Oh, we're good, right? Stream health's good. Yeah. What is going on? Well, we know what's going on. It's PPI. Yeah, needs a strong coffee. So CL, obviously bearish, has come down, taken all these levels, right? Left us some above, still some below from yesterday. We still have to leave a high or a low, right? So just because a high's got 90% doesn't mean necessarily that that's going to go. It's not 100%, right? So there's still levels that get missed that don't get taken of the 90%, right? So, for example, if we're going to go bearish today, this could be the high of the day. So, you don't necessarily just want to think that everything's going to go. Yes, it's got a high probability of going, as you've seen, right? Look at these levels. They get taken above, they get taken below, right? We've taken all of the levels that we've created from last night, sweep them all. It looks like that was our move and we just missed it from a tick. Which is fine. Let's have a quick look at gold. See, I couldn't take gold either. Would have been tagged in gold if we were taking gold, right? Similar trade across it all. It's just the probability is lower on the algo. So we'd have been tagged in our gold trade, but we're only 63%. We shall see. YM is a bit more bullish. Trend AI is bullish. We're above. I mean, it looks like we might hold that, right? We can come back above. Looks like we might hold it. And then NQ. Similar thing, right? We've taken the high of the previous hour and then taken the low. Yeah, so we take the high, the low here, come up, close above. We take the high then of that hour, drop down and take the low. Okay, and the probability on NQ is 66%, as where on ES it's 88%, which was why we were looking at the trade on ES. Trying to give us that highest probability. Where are we? 29 minutes, halfway. So we're into distribution part, right? So there's a good probability of a low in the next half an hour. Got 20% probability in segment 4, 20% again in segment 5, and 31% in segment 6. So as you can see, we've still got 71% of all of our lows when we're bearish that are expected to be in the thing. We've taken the low of the previous hour. We've closed below the open. This is our open price. So we've closed below here. We've closed below again in segment 3. Segment 3, it's where the probability steps up closer to the sort of 79%, 80% probability of most of the time we then close bearish. We do still have these open VIBs above. We haven't got anything too high probability below. So I think for me it would just be, I'm not sure about leaving anything running, right? Because we have got some levels, but I don't think we're going to take them before PPI. If anything, it's just going to be a tap down and then a go, and that's our trade. We're just looking to get a new low for our 1R.
Order filled.
We're filled. Starting to bend round, so we do need more of a... Oh, well, look at that. We're starting to change now. And
order filled.
I'll come out of that trade. So closed it off. Because as we're getting tagged in, our algo's corrective bearish, right? Which is then the probability of bullish. Being extra careful today, just with trading before PPI. This was really the move, right? Here, new low, failing to put a new low and then coming up. Doesn't fill me with confidence. Yeah. Just being extra careful. If it wasn't PPI, I would have stayed in the trade. Because it's legitimate. As we got tagged in, the algo was right, so I'd have stayed. Just with PPI. Plus, we've wiped out all of our liquidity as well, right? So these were kind of the main lows. Then we've been swiping. But I do like the high and the low. I really like the high and the low. Really like the high and the low. And we've got these levels here as well, right? So we wouldn't want to see price break above these levels anyway. We can see how it reacts from this area. See, NQ's much further down. I'd much rather take NQ because it hasn't come even this little pullback here. It's not an attempt at the low. Yeah, it would have just been tagged in as well. But it's 66%. Not quite enough. But I love the tag at the top, tag at the bottom. Would have much rather this trade. There we go. So I am, as we were talking, not coming under. Transition. Confirmed. Right? So the hour's finished. Transition confirmed. Keep an eye on that. Might have a nice transition trade. What have we got? Yeah, okay, so it's not a payday. Let's have a little look. Yeah. Wow. Do you want to see something really clean? Look at this. Look at how clean those highs are. This is a really clean channel. So I mean, even retracement back up into the EMAs, top of this channel, is doable, right? Come all the way down. So the 1 hour crossed, right? Getting bearish. And then we can see that the 1 hour's just started to transition. This is a little slower, probably. Change. Well, it is slower than changing, isn't it? Yeah. This is giving us an earlier indication that we're transitioning bullish. So could see some upside. On YM. We have got an 83% level up here. Oh my god. Let's make this smaller, sorry. Have got this high. What do you think, Mark, about YM? I'm thinking. No worries, Pickles. Well done today, mate. On your 2R. Well done, bud. Have a good rest of the day. I am thinking. So, here's what I'm thinking, right? Hour started. We take out the high of the previous hour. We confirm a transition change. We fail to go under. So we come up. Correct. Fail to go under. This is the 9-minute candle which closes above. Sorry, this is the 9-minute candle. That gets taken out. Right? So if we were running 30 minutes, that would be your first segment. First early signal. So I think I'm going to give it a go. sure whether no, see this break back. This could be the expansion leg out. We'll see. Might not get. Like to get me entry round here, right? Around this 50%. It can come back, trace into this area, no problem. Not breaking anything by doing it. Tap in between the EMAs, and then vamos.
Order submitted.
So this is not a lazy boy because we aren't above 80%, 70%, right? The 2 hour is 90%. We are still in the first hour of the 2 hour, right? So 2 hours started. First half an hour is there. So segment 1 is 20 minutes. Segment 2 is the first 10 minutes. So basically what we've done is segment 1, we've put in a low, and then segment 2 has just taken the high of segment 1, right? So if you wanted to use this low for the 2 hour, then you just have to take it down to this, and that would be your tagging point. But I'm not. I'm going to use this hour. This half an hour, sorry. 50% is my current entry here. 145. That's what I'm thinking. This is the safest bet, right? This low. Because this is your 2 hour low, right? So the 2 hour starts here. This is segment 1. We've just taken the high of segment 1, meaning statistically this has a higher probability of being the low. This is our 2 hour open. This is our hourly open. I mean, it might just go. We might not get the entry because it has played about a bit. We've had that correction here. Let's just expanse out. When we were looking at the higher time frame, right, we can at least come up here. This is this trend line that we've been tapping as we've been heading down, right? This big trend line. And we've come back below again, made a new low, consolidated, switched bullish, right? So look, we switched bullish here, came back above, and then carried on down. So potentially we might see that same thing happen again. We've been doing this for a while though. We are in a higher time frame bearish, so we're not with the higher time frame. See, news could do all the movement. So it looks like we'll just get that expansion out. Yes, it's still hanging around. Looks like NQ will probably just come see those lows again. Let's tap in. Might just see whether it breaks. But we got out the ES trade because the algo changed. Just got out break even. Otherwise we'd have been in that one. This is not a lazy boy setup, just to confirm, right? If we were taking a lazy boy setup, we would be on the 2 hour, right? So our 2 hour setup would be, that's 10. Here's the segment 1. Segment 2. And then bam, segment 3 takes the high. So that would be our signal. And this would be your lazy boy setup on the 2 hour. And you'd be looking for what are? We set this to, yeah, it's on 2 hours. So if we're bullish, we can see that there is right now on the 2 hour, we expect this to be our low. And we've still got 80% of our data to go for upside. There it goes. Never mind. Can't catch them all. Just add a few more levels on. There we go. So we got these above. These 2 levels. Which pair do I like the most with Max Algo? NQ's very, very good. It depends which setup you're talking about, right? Because on the Lazy Boy setup, NQ's great because it loves to come back and take lows, right? So even if it's not a trendy hour, but we've got our setup, right? It'll often come, retake the low again, and then go. And that's our 1 hour trade, right? Retrace, tap back down, one done. And then you get the other movements. See, like this, right? So that's our trade. That's our 1 hour trade, right? Sell signal comes down. We have our low, we have our high. Comes back up again. So this is where you get most of your kind of consolidation. So we have a bit of movement in the first hour, and we make a low. We retrace again, hit the 50%, and then generally, even if we're not going to potentially fly all the way down, right? Hey, we will come and take the lows. What is it that most people have in their confluence before they take an entry? They want to see a sweep. Right, so look, here's a high. There's the sweep of the high, right? Before we move lower. So we've put in this low. So a lot of the time, we'll sweep the low before then if we're going to go higher. And that's just our trade. Max Algo, it just, right, nails it. So you've got two different trades. You've got, people often go in on the signal, right? And then 1R, or whatever. Or, like you see me most of the time doing the 50% retracement, right? Like that. We were trying to get that on ES, but because ES is 88% bearish, right? Yeah, in and out. So YM's flying. So I don't think we're going to get this YM trade, right? It's what it is. Is YM still valid? Yeah, it is still valid, right? So, well, it is valid on the 2 hour, yeah. So this would be our entry point, right? And the reason why it's still valid is our as long as before our entry, the algo stays with its prediction, we still have 80%. Let's increase the data. We're already on 10 segments as well, actually, which is amazing. So there's still 80% of highs to come, right? So statistically, 83% of the time our low is in, and 80% of our highs are not normally in yet. So, right, we're all good. It's a nice probability trade. So what we need to do is, if we know that if a candle is bullish, hey Mark, let's go back. If we know if a candle is bullish, we know statistically it's more likely where our lows and our highs are, right? So we just need to have more probability of the candle closing bullish. That's what the algo does. 90% probability of closing bullish. And that's what all our other data does, right? So when we close above the open, which you can see that we've done, right? So there's our 2 hour open, this yellow line. So we've closed above, closed above, closed above in the segments. You can see that was the last segment, and we just closed above, and then we've done the same again. This is a statistic that gives us an advantage that we are going to close bullish, right? So there's data, if you go on to the return to open stats, those stats are there. So that's probably about a 73% probability of being bullish. Then we've just taken the high of the previous 2 hour, right? So here's our 2 hour on 2. There's the high. So that in itself also gives us a probability that this hour's going to close. These next 2 hours are going to close bullish. So now we've taken the high, statistically bullish. We're closing above the open, statistically bullish. The algo's predicting bullish on the 2 hour. Trend AI's gone bullish. We are above the 0 line and failed to go under, bullish. So we've got lots of confluences to the trade. No. So if you were trading just Lazy Boy, right? If you just got 2 indicators, you have your algo, and you need to learn the stats, right? You can turn this one on and off. And then you can just use V1, which gives you your signals. So an early buy or an early... So you don't even really need to that. You just need to know what time you're not taking trades till, right? So you need to be tagged in as long as there's enough data to come yet. to give you that high probability. And then you can see, like, I don't have the data on for taking the high because I've spent time learning it, right? So I can do that without it being on the chart. I don't have when we're above the open because I've learned that data, right? So I don't have to have that on. So, you know, I keep them there just in case I want to check, right? So here, let's change it to 2 hours. So you can see that segment 2 gives us a 76% probability. If I go up time frames, let's go to the 5 minute. Segment 2, 69%. Segment 3, 78%, right? So segment 3 closing above the open gives us that high probability. So segment 3 on a 2 hour is the first hour. Yeah. So our first hour has just been, right? Oh no, sorry, we've got one more candle. So this one closes above the 2 hour open. That means that segment 3 is above the open. And we have a high probability of then the rest of the 2 hours going to close bullish. And if it's going to close bullish, we have a high probability that our high is yet to come, right? We've got this set to 2 hours, 10 segments, so we're using the most segments we've got. Let's have a look at... not sure I've got the thing. Let me just highlight that. New hour. So if you're in the NQ trade, this would be break even, right? Risk off. Take a little bit of profit if you want to take a bit of profit, but otherwise you're not losing this trade. We have a new hour, which means new things can happen. Yeah, it does. So again, today is about being extra careful, right? Because it is PPI, not high probability days. That's why I was controlled with the trade. So new hour comes. Still bullish on the algo. Yeah, man, don't trade things that you don't normally trade. Just wait for your trade on NQ, right? If you just trade NQ, wait for your trade on NQ. If you just trade gold, just wait for the trade on gold, right? Well, we're going to give this a go. Okay. Oh. Oh. So we're risking 270 on this trade. Do I leave one running? Oh no, I should. We've obviously got liquidity below as well, right? But what we're aiming for is that right now we've come down, taken some liquidity below, then we've taken liquidity above. We still have a couple of highs above, right, that we can take. So we've still got these two levels. So we could, if we're not going to go all the way up here, which is fine, we could just take these levels out, and then maybe we might chop and come back the other way. But we're just playing the double tap. This is a perfect example, right? Here, if we're going to go up, a lot of the time we'll what? Come back, take the low, we even take it again, and then we go up, right? So it's just playing that. It doesn't always happen, but just playing that retake with data aligned, right? So I use the 2 hour and the 3 hour because I like to see kind of everything's aligning, right? So if we're corrective bearish on the 3 hour, that means that we're more bullish. So you can see that it's 38%. So we have a slight advantage towards the upside on the 3 hour. The 2 hour's bullish and the 1 hour's bullish. And if I'm going long, it means that I've got as much confluence in going in the favour of taking the trade as I can, right? So it's just another nice thing to do. So right now, this is a 2 hour play, right? So I'm playing the 2 hour 90% probability. Let me just change the charts. Right. So there's the first hour. Yeah. Second hour. So let's have a look at our data. So if we're bullish, our high is in segment 5, right? So you can see that the probability now of the highs coming stack at the higher end, right? So once we get to segment 7, we had 9%, 18%, 9%, and 30% probability our high is in the last 10 minutes, which would be the last 12 minutes, right? So 10 segments of 120 is 12 minutes. If we reduce this down to 6, just to make it a little easier, right? Got 20-minute segments, 20, 40, 1 hour. So again, look at the data. So if I was to put this now, I'll put it on the chart for you, right? Right. Here, this last 2 segments, here, this represents right, so this part of the hour, if we're going to go bullish, this represents 63% of all of where our highs happen during this time, right? So this is where we currently are, and this is when the highest probability of us expecting that high to be. Okay, now we can play that, okay, even if we take the high here, we might see some more price. But again, what we're doing is, let me just clean this up for you. I'm just going to take the liquidity off. Right, so what was that one? Take 30 minutes off. Yeah, okay. So that shows us we got segment 1 for this 2 hour, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So there's our 6 segments for the 2 hour. Here's our open line for the 2 hour. So for the 2 hour to be bullish, it obviously has to close above the open line, right? So we're not suggesting that it just means it's constantly going to go up, right? However, we are counter higher time frame trend, so we've had a look at that as well. You can see we've been in this big downtrend, right? Showed you this big sort of trend down, right? So we're bearish, but we've just potentially switched, having a bullish pullback, right, in that higher time frame, a bit like this potentially, and that's what we're looking to play, right? Now, so we've got a high probability this hour is going to be bullish. And we know that most of our data for highs in a bullish hour is where? This part of the hour. We know that most of the time that our low is now 91%, right? So most of the time we've had a low. The low of the 2 hour has happened 91% of the time in a bullish candle. So we know our stop has a high probability of not being hit, and we know our profit target has a high probability of being hit, right? Because right now there is still a 72% probability the high goes. So we can play this 1-to-1 with what? Right? We can play the 1-to-1 with high probability that we expect that our stop's going to be safe and our target's going to get hit. This is my early target. So if you're worried about anything, you can take a partial here, go break even if you want, right? Or play it through. Does that make sense? Explanation of the trade. It's not 100% win rate, obviously. Otherwise, we'd all be shouting from the rooftops how amazing everything would be. However, the win rate is good. Well, when I say good, it's been, you know, around 70%. We are coming to the end of segment 4, right? You can see here, look, here's our, I'm just going to go up time frames. So with more data, this now goes to 84%. High still 72%. Filled that VIB there, look. See that on the 5 minute? Tap the VIB. We are struggling with this one, so we just want to see it push the highs. So you can see here, like, still have data in our favour. Just have a little bit of patience with it. Don't like trading before PPI. It's not my cup of tea. Ideally, I like to wait for everything to happen. But we are here early. We're still trying to do something. So let's see. So this hour, right? Segment 1, if we were just looking at the hour, it's there, and we've taken the high of segment 1. So even from this current hour, here's the open price, right? There. So it did close below it. We have taken the high, which makes us say that there's a good probability this is our high for this hour. So we could trail to here just to reduce risk. But then I think I'd rather just go break even if I'm going to do that. We got 4 more minutes. There's NQ, right? Tapped. Low taken. Perfect. ES. Still hasn't taken the low. Corrective bearish now. So I think that was the right decision. Didn't like what I saw. Algo changed. Get out of the trade. Came to YM. High probability. Had the transition above the 0 line. That was a much cleaner trade.
Order submitted.
Just put a sell limit on. Just want to leave. Right. Where's that liquidity? Might just push 916. So I'm just going to take one off here and then just push a little bit further to this high, I think. Go break even once we've done that anyway. Because we've still got all this data to come, right? Still got a lot of data to come. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, I'm going break even now anyway. Not losing this trade once we've got so close. So I'm stops at break even.
Order cancelled.
Why was order cancelled? Oh, there we go. Had a fill. So first one's come off. And then we're just being a bit greedy. Could just take it all off now. But I've partialed. Oh, let's go, Mark. So I hope you can see from the setup, right? It's not... None of this is my opinion. This is just data-based. Right? Really, really simple. It's just data-based. It is just... We focus on predicting the outcome of a candle, right? Focus on, is a candle going to be bullish? Is a candle going to be bearish? That's the core of what we do. And then from that, we then play the data of where we know the likelihood of where the highs and the lows are to give us a statistical advantage of taking a trade, right? And that's how we do it. Now, we also know that kind of like sequence ones can be very bullish. They are predominantly more bullish than in terms of strength. So yeah. So we haven't put a high. We put a high. So if you look, our high is in segment 4. So the probability is 9%. So what's the likelihood of getting more highs? That is why I just moved my target up, because I was like, it's... There we go. So we also get a buy signal now in this hour. So if we were looking at this hour as a bullish hour, you know, most of the highs come, if we were to segment this down again, right? There's the halfway point. There's 30 minutes. Most of the high data are on an hourly. So let's look at an hour. Right, so there you can see, look, 17%, 17%, 41%. So most of the data is still past this point. We could still probably say, there, this is super high probability of where this high is going to be. No worries, man. It's nice to get on, get a trade, get some profit before PPI, right? And even just doing that's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. I've had a good week so far. Did manage to get a trade yesterday before I just ran out of steam. I think I did about 250 yesterday, and then we were 1,000 on stream Monday. No, Wednesday, Tuesday. Tuesday we were about 1,000, weren't we? I think it was just under 1,000 we did on Tuesday. Monday was also a good day as well. Last week was also a good week. Tuesday was our only, last Tuesday was our only bad day, and then we've been on a green run ever since. I am nearly halfway to a payout. There's that next level gone. So we've got one level left. Otherwise, it's a big move up here, right? Just trying to stretch that a little bit of movement out. I could play time, right? And look to capture my high in this point. We don't have to do this type of thing, right? Just because something says it has to. Our job is to just get profit out of the market. If that means that from here to here is us getting profit, that's great. If it takes all the way into this time period, then fine. Same thing, right? I can't wait to go and have a look at that. What you sent me, Mark. Can't wait. Can't wait to go and have a look. Just been so ill. Don't even know what's going on. There you go. If I can do this really ill, then anyone can do it. Can you see? I mean, we've got our data below still right now, but I want to see this high go. Maybe we don't. I can't remember how much you need to make on Apex for it to be a trading day. Is it 100? Is it 200? The rules have changed. Let's have a check. Let's have a check. $50. Minimum under new rules, you need to complete a minimum of 8 trading days. Consistent profit. Out of these 8 days, at least 5 days must have a minimum of $50. And it shall count as another trading day. There's our trade. Right. Order low target's 4486. That is exactly the target that I have. That is exactly the target. That is the liquidity level. How mad's that? Yeah, right. Love it when it all fits together. Come on, you. One more tick. Right, maybe... Oh, yeah, it was one more. Ah. So mean. Let's go. Yeah, I've got it on. Yeah, it's on 186. It's on 186. It's definitely on 186. We are into our high probability high time, right? 17% probability at this hour. This is our high. We have just done it in that period, so we do have a high probability high. We've still got a lot more data to go, but we have just got it right on the hour, right on the halfway mark. Right on the halfway mark. Yeah, 849 candles, bullish candles, you can see. Segment 4, which is where we are now, just in segment 4, we've just put our high. 17.79% probability of this being our high. Next segment is 20 minutes, 20%, and then 40% in the last segment of the hour. So if it's going to make a new high, it has to hit our target. We are one tick above that. And data is with us. Come on. I mean, normally I probably would have just closed the trade here. What is for 2 ticks. But I wasn't thinking. Still got a lot of data to come. I was thinking that. Instead of, don't be a dick for a tick. what we'll do is we come up above this high, right? We start coming up again. I'll just lock in the 1R profit anyway, just so that worst case scenario we just walk away with our 1R. Well, of course. Of course. Who feels this? Right? The one tick from profit. Who feels that? Feel my pain right now? Come down, fill this gap. Let's look at our VIBs. Sitting on that gap. Let's go. I think I need to go to sleep for about a week. It's part and parcel of the game, isn't it? It's part and parcel of the game. There's going to be times when it gets one tick from your stop loss and goes on to hit target. There's going to be times it gets one tick from your take profit, right? Happens. One thing is not to stress, right? We've got lots of data. So statistically, we're expecting another high. You know, if I was in this position 100 times, the majority of the time, it's going to play out for me, right? So if we change this to this current hour, so the 76% probability of, it's on the hour, so there's a 76% probability of another high still on the hourly, which is this hour. This is the hourly low here. This is our break even. We are basically at the hourly low. We need to up our YouTube numbers. I need to be more social. We sit here and take trades day after day, right? All completely logical, no bullshit, all based on data, all based on everything that can see. And we have won and won and won. And we've lost. Need likes and shares. I do need likes and shares. And comments. Oh. One of the reasons for the boot camp, Mark. If we do the boot camp, we can bring more people,
Target
right?
filled.
There we go. TP hit. Happy days. Happy days. We've still got more probability of our high coming, right? But we don't need to worry about that now. Our high probability liquidity's been taken. Thanks, bud. High probability liquidity's been taken. We can have a look at some of the other stuff now. Hang on, bear me a second. So, job done. What did that do for the P&L? We didn't go huge on it because it's pre-PPI. 287. Gross was 300. Commissions 287.6. Not a bad day in the office. Not a bad day. I am not currently copy trading this at the moment. Otherwise I would be across the accounts, but we'll leave that for another time. Let's clean up the chart now we've done that. So we've taken out our high probability highs, right? Next one is up here. Not as high probability, but you know, we have just transitioned. We are in this higher time frame downtrend. This is where the trend line is. Could quite easily come up to there, but we're not. We're looking for our little piece of the pie. We've now done that, so let's have a little look around. So ES looks like it might have just worked out. See, NQ disappeared. It's a shame because NQ gave an early buy signal, but did not get the sell signal in time. Not that we'd have been tagged in anyway, right? Because that would have been the sell signal there. So if you'd have gone on the sell signal, there's 2R, right? If you'd have gone for 50% retracement, that's hit. That's currently here. So nothing there anyway. We'd have got to the end of hour, gone broke even, then just been tapped and wind. So that trade would have been fine. Nothing on there. CL. Okay, so CL, it's only just broken the high, unfortunately. We did put our low in segment 1. We've got these liquidity levels above. It's too late at the hour for me. It's too late. It just didn't shape up right for CL. But yeah. What am I looking at? Where is this chart? There we go. Bearish. It's below 70%. See, we were doing it. This would be our tag in. Probably prefer the early signal, not quite 1 hour. Nice crossover though, yeah? Crossover, cross above, cross under, correct. There's your trend line. Right, so while you're correcting here, you can see you're putting in this trend line, right? This is your last high as we come under. Correct. Fail to take that high. So we stick in this zone. Consolidate in this zone. Fail to come above. And then you can see we take the low of the previous hour here. And obviously early sell confirmations. You get buys here. Sell and a sell. Tap back up. And then there's your distribution. So that's like a textbook move when you cross under. Cross under. Correct. Fail to take the high. And then you get your movement down. It's nice. A little bit insight on the dynamic TP. We had a high probability level here as well. That's another confluence for it coming up, tapping that level. Very good. Gold. Hello, gold. There's our levels above. Come below the 0 line. Corrected. Corrected again. Let's see. You would have got the 50%, but the probability is not high enough, right? So high, low, 50% there, bang. But not thrilled with probability. Should put this back to NQ. Whether we're going for these levels. These are all left over from yesterday. What's that big run yesterday? We'll see. Maybe PPI might be a up and down jobby. We'll see. But we're at 12:47. We've only got 45 minutes. I think we'll call the stream today. One win, job done, close charts, get out, go sleep. Hope you have a lovely day, everybody. And I'll catch you tomorrow. See you later.